Morning, guys. So just left Tricorner Knob Shelter where I stayed last night, and today planning on doing about 15 miles to Davenport Gap Shelter, which is the last shelter in the Smokies National Park. So kind of excited to get done with the Smokies, so we don't have that shelter restriction every night that you have to stay at shelters. Also, I can get rid of my sleeping pad, which will save me about 3/4 of a pound. Anyway, the shelter was pretty packed. I thought I had a nice hammock spot set up until the last minute. Some girl showed up. Sunshine, by the way, real original trail name. I've already met about 20 Sunshines. Anyway, she had to set her tent up next to her people, even though I'm sure there was other spots. Basically pitched her tent like underneath my hammock, so that was kind of annoying. But anyway, slept all right. Yeah, so today I think there's like a plane crash site that might have some views. There's a helicopter pad, an old one, that's supposed to be a good place for views, and also another fire tower, which if it's clear I'll probably hike up to. I think it's like a 1 mile round trip up to that, which will probably be worth it. Alright, so I think this is the old helipad. There's just very little remnants, but there is a nice view. Alright, this is the plane crash site. It looks like there's actually like wreckage. Bunch of twisted metal. Alright, so today's new foot pain is my left big toe. On the bottom of it, it's starting to get like a blister, but I think it's because my hiking socks haven't been washed in like a really long time, probably over a week, and I think they're kind of not drying out the whole way at night, so switched them out for a drier pair, not super dry, but that seems to be helping a little bit. And then I got my other socks drying on my pack, so hopefully that'll help out. Alright, so those last shots were from Mount Chamomere Fire Tower. It was a little hazy, so they weren't probably as good as they could have been. But anyway, now officially getting out of the Smokies, dropping way down in elevation into Davenport Gap, which I think is like over the course of like another 4 miles. But anyway, staying at that shelter tonight, and then getting out of the Smokies tomorrow. Alright, so on my way out of Davenport Gap shelter down to the Davenport Gap road crossing, and then onto Standing Bear Farm and Hostel. And I'll resupply there, depending on how big that resupply is. Like, I need some weird stuff like Ziploc bags and stuff like that, but hopefully I can do that all there. And I'm thinking I might continue on, hopefully to Hot Springs before the end of the week. I think it's Wednesday right now. But anyway, I'm trying to get to Hot Springs by Friday afternoon because my girlfriend's going to be in the area around, I think, Thursday night, but I can just meet her Friday afternoon. And then we're going to spend the weekend together, which actually works out perfectly because I think there's storms forecast. So I'm going to dodge the bad weather yet again. And this time not even really by planning, which is nice. So anyway, I was able to hammock last night. I had it pitched kind of in a sketchy spot. There were like no tent spots. But it was basically at like a 45-degree angle. I kind of wish I took a picture, but anyway, I slept pretty good. There was a ton of people at the shelter again, but they didn't kind of show up until later. It's funny, I thought that water was like hard to come by when I was in the Smokies, but as soon as we actually got out, I've been following this like huge river for probably the last half a mile. So now it's the time to drink up, I guess. Alright, so we got a little bit of a road walk crossing the Pigeon River, I think it is. And then it looks like we are going under I-40, I think. I was wondering what I could hear all night. I was like, that sounds like a lot of traffic. So, didn't realize it was an interstate, but glad I didn't camp any closer, I guess. About a mile from Standing Bear Hostel. Hoping they have some like real food, which would be nice. But I'll take what I can get. We got the blazed guardrail here. Not exactly what you think of when you think of the Appalachian Trail. Hopefully this isn't bringing me onto I-40, but looks like this is the entrance ramp where you'd either go to Knoxville or Asheville. I think I know where this is actually, sort of, on the map. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so you basically learn to hate road crossings when you're doing a distance hike, I guess. There's I-40. I came up here, and here's the staircase I get to go up. Alright, so just left Standing Bear Hostel. I got a shower, did my laundry, ate a frozen pizza, a couple sodas, some candy, got a full resupply for a couple days. So I decided not to stay. Definitely feeling a lot better now. So I'll probably do, I think it's like 7 or 8 miles to the next shelter. So I might do that, camp somewhere along the way. It's like 14 miles to this grassy bald where it's really cool to camp. But that's kind of pushing it for today, so I probably won't do that. But yeah, I might think about waking up super early and trying to hit the bald for sunrise, but that's also a pretty lofty goal, so let's see what happens. Alright, we got a new flower alert. These purple guys. And I'm pretty sure these ones are also new. Alright, so I just got up to the first peak coming out of Standing Bear Farm. And this is Snowbird Peak. So it's first one of the real balds, I feel like, where it's an extended walk. So there's a bunch of these coming up. Max Patch, probably the most famous one, is coming up tomorrow or possibly today if I'm really ambitious. But yeah, this is what it looks like.
Really high angle up for a little while, and then it'll smooth back off for the end of the day. If I had to.
Alright, made it to Max Patch. Trying to camp somewhere around here, but it's balled up on top. So my hammock is set up and I'm up most of the way to the top of Max Patch, but this is where I'm gonna chill and watch the sunset. But it's just insane up here. Got a perfect day, pretty much. It's a little hazy, but it's 360 from the top, but still a nice view from where I'm at. Alright guys, made it up to Max Patch just in time for sunset. Yeah, so that's the top of Max Patch up there where I watched the sunset. And now I'm just down almost near a tree line, so still got a nice view. But anyway, you can see, you probably can't really see it, but my hammock's back in the tree line. So I'll probably set my alarm nice and early and then hike back up here for the sunset, might as well. So pretty awesome. Alright, so just leaving Max Patch. Definitely took my time here this morning, eating breakfast up on top and caught the sunrise up on top, and also caught the sunset yesterday, so that was pretty cool. The goal today is probably to get to like within, I don't know, 8 miles of hot springs, so I can just roll in there easy tomorrow since I kind of busted my ass yesterday. I think I ended up doing like 19 miles almost, but yeah, there's a few campsites and also a shelter, so we'll see what happens. Alright, more new flowers. So I think my luck with weather might have finally run out. It's starting to thunder a little bit and sprinkle. But yeah, should be avoiding the bulk of it, which starts tomorrow, so that's the good news. Alright guys, decided to call it a night before the shelter, pretty much so I could have my own space, but I found this pretty sweet site. So I got my hammock over here, collected a bunch of firewood, and then there's a fire pit and a bunch of logs over here. So I'll probably have a pretty nice fire tonight. But yeah, I'm about 5 miles from Hot Springs. Katie, my girlfriend's coming to visit tomorrow, so I'm going to meet up with her around noon, or maybe before, if she gets here before. Alright guys, got a really nice campfire going. I'm just going to sit here to let this burn out, which might take a while. But yeah, heading on into Hot Springs tomorrow. Good morning guys. So about to head down into Hot Springs. So yeah, just an update. Last night was probably the worst night camping in my life. The fire was great. Went to bed great. And then I woke up about 1:30 and just went outside and had like diarrhea and projectile vomiting. And that went on basically until like 6:30 a.m. like every 15 to a half an hour. So yeah, pretty sure I got norovirus or some other type of food poisoning or something. But yeah, I feel better than I did last night, so hoping to make it into town, and I was spending a couple zeros anyway, so that's good.